it goes back to 2010 when I was seconded into the Cabinet Office to be the inaugural director of the UK government's cloud computing programme, which was referred to as G-Cloud. And the brief I had was to effectively look at all dimensions of strategy, know how you'd build, how you'd operate, the commercial aspects, security, know the engagement models, know how you would actually mobilise. But the budget, and I thought that was a huge task. I thought, wow, it's going to be fantastically interesting to work on that. But initially, at that point in time, money was becoming tighter, and the budget I had was extremely small. And so my reaction was to say, well, look, how can I deliver such a big ambition with a team that is one or two people? And I concluded I couldn't. So in thinking about alternative approaches, I then, and I did this after talking to others about what different ideas would work, but the idea we landed on was, let's do a call for volunteers and invite both the IT industry and government departments to identify individuals they'd be prepared to second to the programme. And we said, look, we're looking for serious commitment. We're looking for a commitment of at least 4 months and at least 4 days a week. And this will be an unpaid commitment. It's a chance to contribute to shaping the direction of public sector IT policy. And we were delighted with the response we got. That approach, after quite a number of presentations explaining the ambition and explaining how we were going to structure the programme, the approach yielded 150 volunteers, all of who were screened to make sure that it would be a good use of mutual time. That resulted in us in building a team of 120 people in 8 different strands of work. Now, about the time I was setting that project up, I went back to see one of the academics who had taught me computer science when I'd been at Imperial College back in the 80s. And he very quickly said, look, this is fascinating what you're doing, and we'd love to be involved. He said, tell you what, why don't you register for a part-time PhD, do the work you're doing, and then do some additional work to do academic validation of legitimate strategies for deploying cloud computing in public sector organisations. It is legitimate for you to use the work you are doing with the volunteers as the foundation. There will be extra work to do, but this is a great opportunity to get a PhD as a byproduct of work you're doing anyway.
And so what was the outcome for the G Cloud? Mobilizing 120 people is on a voluntary basis quite amazing in the government and environment. So what did you do with them, and what was the end result of that program?
The end result was a strategy and a business case. Many of those documents were published on the Cabinet Office website, and some of them are in the National Archive. That set out, really address the questions: is cloud computing a safe and appropriate step for government to take? At the time the work was initiated, there were questions about, well, is it sustainable? Is it secure? Can it work at scale? Can you deliver services reliably across multiple cloud vendors? And the approach we took was to identify the major themes that needed to be addressed to build confidence. And the main ones there were how you would design and implement services, how you would do the DevOps, the sustaining of services, how you would do the securing of services, how you would build the business case, how you would effectively manage the deployment into the public sector. And we had there the concept of an application store for government, or a cloud services store for government. and all of that was delivered through 8 work strands, each of which specialised in looking in depth at an individual area of work, and each of which had a team averaging 15 people. And then there were regular meetings of a overarching core team that had the job of joining all of that up and commissioning and developing the outputs of the project.